Okay, tonight we're doing slice of life, speed of life. We've got all kinds of things. There's no game. There's no one on the side to help us out, so it's a bit kind of it's a kind of nerve-wracking form. It may be funny. It may not. We won't try and be funny. We won't try not to be funny. It'll just be what it is. It's a concept really of a play has already started and we're stepping on stage to discover what it is. So we don't even know who we're playing and we don't know where the play is going to go. If I just explain the beginning, and then that's really, the lights will go out, we will find a position on stage unprepared. When the lights come on again, whoever's on stage will suss each other out, look at each other. We first try and assess what the heat of the scene is. Like, does that person seem friendly or kind or warm, or is there something hostile about them, or are they looking nervous? Or we just pick up whatever it is and respond to that, and that's the starting point. And they'll come back on that. And it may take 2 or 3 minutes before we discover where we are, who we are, and what we're doing, but we'll never know at any moment where it's going. The idea, and it's very rare that it happens, the idea is we stay totally in the moment and we're not thinking about the next thing at all. We're just absolutely responding in the moment. That's the idea. We've sort of done 35, 40 minutes, but I don't think we've ever achieved that goal of being absolutely in the moment all the time. Sometimes I think we find ourselves inventing when we should be discovering. So it's the difference between inventing something and discovering something. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what it's about. Is there anything else I need to say? It was because we came here to rehearse last week. Just a story, really. We came here to rehearse last week, and the Labour Party were in here. Practice. No, I actually beginning to prefer to say we practice rather than workshop, because practice is trying those things out that we don't know how to do, which is what tonight is with an audience. We're practicing something we don't know how to do. But anyway, we couldn't get in here. We got until quite late, so we had about 40 minutes or so. So we decided to have a session at home, my house, on Friday. And there's building going on next door. They're putting up a thing next door. There were builders outside, and we had the doors open, and we started this improvisation. And it turned out, I think, we were planning the bombing of Milton Keynes. And so we were talking about bombing, and we've got somebody down in the town with a haversack and blah blah blah. And of course the builders were just outside. I think at one point one of you went outside and said, "Well, I can't see anything yet. It should be over there. It should be happening over there." Went back in again. But the police never arrived, so they wouldn't have ever guessed, I don't think, that hey, these guys are improvising. This guy's planning a bombing. Okay, so Scotland lights. Hooray! What we'll do, we'll take the lights down. We won't get a blackout, but we'll have to pretend there is one. When the lights come up, whoever's on stage. It could be 3 people on stage, 2 people on stage, 1 person on stage, nobody on stage. That's how it could start. If we're sitting down, we're off stage. There, I mean. Okay, so lights off and we'll begin. Did you hear that?
No.
Did you hear?
What the?
Did you not hear the shouting?
The shouting. Who was it?
What? The bugger, him.
Oh, not again. That's the second
Oh,
time
next
this
door.
week.
Him, yeah, next door.
I didn't hear it.
I was in there.
Oh, God. It's got to stop, you know.
Can you talk to him?
What do you think I was doing? I was in there. Well, talking.
And what did
you not hear the voice go up?
That was you.
Yeah, it was me.
I thought it was him.
It was him and me.
Well, you were both shouting.
Yeah, we were both shouting.
Why don't you stop shouting?
Just.
Because I've got used to it. I've spent half an hour in there talking to him.
Quiet, gently. Sit down. Just sit down. Please. There's no point getting upset about it.
I am upset
Don't
about it.
get upset about it.
I am upset about
I
it.
don't blame you, John.
There we are.
I know next door he's a tosser. I know that. But please, let's be reasonable about this.
Reasonable.
I've done what, 5 years of reasonable.
Yeah.
You're not here all the time.
No, I know. Well, whose fault's that?
Well, I think, whose fault is that?
Guess it's mine.
It's not mine. I
It's not mine.
Well, it's your life, mate. You're either here or not. Whose decision's that?
If I were welcome, I might stay.
You are
I
welcome.
don't feel welcome. Because every time I come, you're shouting.
That's not true, is it?
No.
Well, it feels like that.
Well, I'm not shouting at you.
Just shouting at the situation. Don't you ever get frustrated by a situation where you just want to scream and shout?
Yes,
You
but
can't.
I've got to keep my friends and family around me, haven't I?
Well, yeah. Well, we're your, friends, I suppose.
Well, not so much.
Oh.
Well, it does sound like that's beginning to sound like you decide not to come here because you're not sure whether we're your friends.
I don't think he's so bad as you say.
Who? Him.
Shout.
Him next door.
He's a tosser. You just said he was a
He's
tosser.
a tosser, but he's not a shouter. He's not unpleasant about it. He just shouts a lot.
Would you okay?
So-
Would you find me unpleasant?
Sometimes.
Well, you just accused me of shouting. You find that unpleasant?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
But he can shout.
He can shout.
Why can't he shout then?
But because his wife has just walked off.
Who?
Him
Him next door.
No.
You know that.
I didn't know that. Who told you that?
Mrs. Miggs next door.
She's a gossip.
Not Mrs. Miggs. That. Well, you
Honestly.
don't believe anything
What's
she
she talking
says.
to her for?
Well, she's quite pretty.
You talk to more of the neighbours than you do to us.
God,
Well, they're more interesting than you.
Oh, bloody hell, thanks a lot.
You're talking to her because she's pretty.
Yeah.
God, you're desperate.
Yeah, that is true. It's not funny. It's not funny.
Okay, look, the clue is in the name, right? The first name, right? Mrs.
Mrs.
Yeah. Leave her alone. Leave her alone.
Don't have to.
Oh, come on. But he's like a schoolboy now. I mean, come on.
God, dear.
Come on.
Mrs. Miggs is pretty.
All right, that's okay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It makes me tea.
She makes you tea.
Gives me chocolate hobnobs.
For God's sake, I just thought you were talking to her. You going in the house? I mean, you can't be standing outside eating hobnobs. I mean, what would the neighbours say?
You know what he says. He shouts.
He knows all the neighbours. Nobody's going to say anything about
You
him.
know all the neighbours.
Yeah. So where'd you have these hobnobs then?
In the garden.
Garden?
It's good. She's got a swing. Not like us. There's no swing here.
I'm gonna
You're gonna.
get a cup of tea. You want one?
Do you want a hobnob?
Do you want
I've
one?
got. Yes, please.
I haven't got any hobnobs.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, go and ask Mrs. Miggs for some.
Okay.
Oh, blimey. Funny old street this, isn't it? Mrs. Miggs is saying...
I've got custard creams.
They'll do! Mind you, he's gone to ask Mrs. Miggs.
He's going to ask Mrs. Miggs what?
For some chocolate hobnobs.
She did have chocolate hobnobs.
Have you got any chocolate hobnobs then?
Here's your cup of tea.
Thanks, mate.
Where's he gone?
He's gone next door to Mrs. Miggs to ask for some chocolate
He's
hobnobs.
not going to bring her around here, is he?
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps he will. I think she looks like the back end of a bus, don't you?
Well, I don't know. It's a bit, you know, bit tough, bit rough. I mean, I don't mean she's a bit rough. Well, she might be. Maybe that's why.
Perhaps the way he looks.
You never know, do you, about
No,
people? You never
no.
know quite what people
Think is attractive and not. Yeah.
put in next door.
Oh, God, he's
No, we've got to do something about it. Martin's not going to help us out here.
No.
He's just, I don't know. He's too patient.
Custard creams.
I don't know. I tell you what, we've got to do something,
Yeah,
okay?
right.
I mean, do you know what he's doing now, don't you?
What?
He's building an extension. That's his plan.
Build an extension?
That's his plan.
Has he got planning permission?
I don't know. Well, there was a little sign out. I didn't bother to read it. It'd been there for a couple of months. One of those plastic sign
On
things.
the lamppost? Why didn't you read it?
Well, I don't know. I'm a bit. I didn't have my glasses, or it was raining,
Oh,
or.
God, don't you make any excuses.
Hmm? Didn't you read it?
I didn't see it.
Well, at least I saw it.
Yeah, okay. It's one better than me.
Anyway, that's what he's planning.
An extension.
Yeah,
Well, it's going to cut all our light
that's
off,
what I
isn't
said.
it? Yeah.
I said to him, "It's going to cut." Well, it's exactly what I said.
It's going to cut
It's
all
going
our
to cut all our light off.
Well, there's a human right about that sort of thing, isn't there?
I don't know.
You're entitled to so much light.
Well, that's why you need planning permission.
Yeah.
She's dead. She's dead.
Well, we heard. We're just a bit shocked. Was she dead when you went round there?
Yeah.
Or
No, she was dead.
she didn't die while you were round there
No.
asking for chocolate?
No.
She wasn't reaching up
No.
for a cupboard
No,
and...
no, no.
No?
Well,
What have you called?
There was somebody there to tell you that. I mean,
No, she was on the floor.
Whether you phoned the ambulance or something, she might not be completely dead.
I did all that stuff.
Oh, first aid trained now, are we? Yeah. Oh, God.
Did
Oh,
all
yeah,
that.
Ring the ambulance, though.
No, hang on a minute.
I'd like lying out on the floor.
Lying out on the floor. Chocolate knob in one hand. Dead. Blue.
Poisonous hobnobs.
Don't be
No, no,
whatever.
it's not very
It's
funny.
not funny.
Not
Well,
funny.
it could be true.
No, it's not
No,
funny.
that's,
It's
I mean,
not
that was
funny.
the
but-
likelihood.
I mean, she did have children, grandchildren.
I suppose
What's
you
that
could have
got to do
choked
with
on it.
What, the grandchildren?
No. Look, what's the matter with you two?
I want to know why he hasn't called the ambulance or the police. If it turns
Well,
out...
let's do it now. Have you
Yeah,
got?
that's
I'm-
what I was going to do.
Do
You
it,
said
do it,
stop.
do it. Don't just
You
talk
told me
about
to
it.
stop.
Do it!
Right.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
What, for Christ's sake, why not?
Well, don't do it.
Of course you must. Got to do
No,
it. Do
don't,
it.
Don't.
Do it.
I might have been a bit involved. Just a bit. Just a tiny bit.
What, I mean, okay. What happened? You went just. What do you mean? Was she alive when you got there?
Sort of.
Well, either
Sort of.
she was breathing,
She was breathing.
and she was on the floor.
Not so much.
She was sitting on the floor.
She was kind of standing up.
Well, she's staggering. What do you mean?
No, she wasn't staggering.
She was standing up,
She was standing
looking
up,
well.
looking quite well.
This is getting worse, Martin.
Is it?
We're sounding. What do you mean you were a little bit involved?
She invited me in for a hobnob. For a chocolate.
No, you were going to go. No,
You were going to.
You was going to go round
You
to
said
bring
you were
the
going
hobby.
to borrow
She
some to
invited
bring
me-
them back
She
here.
invited me in.
Is it? Was you coming? Like, hello, Martin. Coming for a hobnob?
Kind of that. Yeah. Yeah. That's what she normally
Is that a
says.
euphemism?
No, it's not a euphemism.
Like hobnobbing?
No, we weren't hobnobbing. She offered me the packet.
Oh.
Well, it's just.
And
It sounds to me she was a little more than just standing.
Now, can we get from
She's
just
walking
standing
about
to
now
flat on?
She was
with a
walking
packet of
about
biscuits.
With a packet of biscuits.
And then suddenly she's on the
offering
floor.
I know.
And now you're saying that you were a little involved.
I was a little involved. I
So
accept,
just okay. So offering your hobnobs. What next?
thank you. I accepted the hobnob gratefully and platonically.
Can you show me exactly how you can platonically accept a hobnob?
Shall I be Mrs.
No. I'm not. I'm just.
Right,
I don't. How can you?
shall we play this?
You're not
Shall we
pretty.
look?
No, because you're
Okay.
not pretty enough.
Oh,
Friendly.
You. Friendly.
Okay.
Hello, hello, Martin.
Hello. Hello, Martin.
Yeah. How nice of you to come round.
How nice of you to
How
come
nice of
round.
you to come round. I happen to have a newly opened packet of chocolate hobnobs.
coincidence.
Platonic
Okay.
or platonic?
Yeah. Okay.
So I said, thank you, Marianne.
I didn't know the first name was Mary.
First name terms, eh? Marion next
Marion.
to.
Look, this is.
Yes,
Look, we've got a bugger next door show, building a what's it, and a.
We got a corpse the other side. Well, he said she's
No. But I mean, she's not even cold, and you're calling her a corpse. You can't do
Well,
that.
you're a corpse as soon as you snuff it, aren't you?
I don't know. I don't care.
You're either
Just
alive or a corpse.
I just want to know this next bit, really.
I reached out for the hobnob, the platonic hobnob.
Oh, the hobnob's platonic now.
The hobnob was
We've got a
platonic.
platonic hobnob.
They had no intentions. It was an innocent hobnob straight from the packet. I reached out for it. I grasped it between finger and thumb, as one does, and she kind of slipped and fell backwards down the stairs. Did I
You didn't mention that you were standing at the top of the
I
stairs.
forgot about that.
I mean, so somehow you've gone in the front door.
Gone in front
and now you're now you're upstairs.
Yes.
Why did you fail to mention that? Why were you going upstairs with a hobnob?
She wanted me to move the ladder that she had
You're
borrowed.
missing a lot of stuff out here.
No,
It's like watching
Are you
the
just
highlights
making this
on
up?
telly.
no.
You're just making it up.
She had borrowed a ladder from him next door
To do what?
to get in the loft because she hadn't got a ladder.
What did
And
she...
she wanted to get in the loft.
So,
They all wanted to
Martin,
get- yes.
come in. Would you like a hobnob? Not Martin. Would you come in and help me with the ladder? Where did the ladder come in?
The ladder came in about 3 weeks ago.
No. In the conversation.
Oh, in the conversation. It sort of, Martin, would you like a hobnob? Yes, please, Marianne. And is there any chance that you could help me upstairs?
That sounds. They weren't her exact words. No mention of ladder.
There was no mention of
Just,
ladder.
would you like to help me upstairs?
Upstairs.
Can I help you upstairs?
I thought she was arthritic. I did. She may be only.
So did you go to start to help her upstairs?
I didn't need to because she's only 28, or she was only 28. I mean, she was.
So where did you put the hobnob while you're helping her
Oh, that's
upstairs?
fucking-
That's ridiculous. Don't ask about the. Not.
Okay, so now.
So
you-
I went up. So we went upstairs.
And did she mention the ladder on the way upstairs?
No, she didn't. Except when we got to the very top of the stairs, and the ladder was there, and she couldn't get past it.
Why did you think you were going upstairs?
I just followed her
Like normal.
like normal.
There we
Got him.
go. There we go.
Got him.
So we
I still
had
want to know what happened to the hobnob, though.
fuck the hobnob.
No, I think the hobnob's important.
Just
Look,
Sounds like you weren't fucking the hobnob. You would.
let's
okay, so now they are upstairs.
So-
Standing.
upstairs,
She was ahead of you. You were standing now on the top stair.
and she,
Top step with your back
despite
to
what
the
Paul
stairs.
is, she was had her back to the stairs.
Where's the ladder?
The ladder is sitting on the top of the stairs on the landing, going up towards the
Stairs,
Steps,
ladder.
stairs,
You're standing
ladder.
here, back to the stairs. She's standing here. How the hell does she fall down the stairs?
I told you, she had the hobnob. He's the one who's going on like where the hobnob was. She had the hobnob. She was giving it to me. Martin, here's the hobnob.
Once you're upstairs.
Once we're upstairs.
So the bit
by
about
the ladder.
being given the hobnob by the front door is totally irrelevant.
She offered
Or is
it.
this your second
No,
hobnob?
she offered it at the front door.
And then
And so she
tempted you by
she-
leading you
Paul,
upstairs
Paul,
with the
Paul.
hobnob.
And I,
What?
yeah.
Paul, there's a dead woman next door, and you're worrying about hobnobs.
She's
I
fine.
I think they're relevant.
For just what?
I think he killed her.
I didn't
Well,
kill
not
her.
even he did. I don't mean casually. What's that going to?
But we can't call the police, is what I'm saying.
Why?
What, because they might think I did it.
Well, I think you did it.
A fine friend you
Well,
turned
until
out
you
to be.
tell, you haven't said that you didn't do it. You said something like,
I was a little involved.
Handed me the hobnob,
yes.
Maybe I was a little
and I
involved.
may have pulled it a little bit too strongly.
Yeah.
And then, you know what happened?
But you're on the side. Would you go over your bloody shoulder or
She
something?
released it and fell backwards.
See, hobnob central to the.
Fell backwards. She fell
Down the
backwards.
stairs.
How come the stairs are there? She's
No.
standing here.
No.
Hold on. How did that
The
position
stairs-
change?
No,
Okay,
I was always first, she was second.
I'll be.
You said you
be.
followed
be
her.
You be. You be you. I'll be her.
Okay.
Now positioning.
Where's the stairs?
Where's
Come
the
on,
stairs?
come-
Let's get the stairs right.
All right. The stairs are here.
Right.
All right. Is that okay?
So
That's
we're up
not
at-
you following.
No.
You're looking like, what's this?
Right.
What's this?
Okay. You're following me.
Yes.
Come on, Martin. Here's the kitchen hot dog. Right. Top of stairs.
Top of stairs.
Ladder.
Ladder.
Where?
Here.
Oh, I just
no,
walked through the
No,
ladder.
you haven't walked
No.
through the ladder. The ladder's there. You're here.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm.
And I come round to lift the ladder.
All right, and then
You're
she
still
comes-
holding the hobnob. We hold
So
it.
we're dancing on
We're
the ladder.
dancing
No,
the
no, no.
and you pull, and it slides because the chocolate's a little bit melted.
Melted at that point.
And you fall backwards. Tumble, neck
Oh.
broken, dead.
So how do you find her in the kitchen?
She wasn't in the
You
kitchen.
didn't mention the kitchen.
He did.
Did you mention the kitchen?
I
I
thought
don't
you
remember.
mentioned
Did I
the
mention the
I
kitchen?
don't remember.
I
the kitchen.
thought. Perhaps I imagined it. I thought we said the kitchen.
It's just the way that this has come out. Doesn't sound good. I don't know what I know.
So I had been seeing
I'm
her.
go-
So I had been seeing her.
That's a euphemism too.
Does she know the guy? Does she know George next door?
Yeah, it's her uncle.
I've
That's
been
what.
living here for 10 years or more.
That's what all the shouting's been about.
I've been here for. I'm coming and going for 5 years.
He's
More
been,
going
he's
than
been
coming.
really worried about her, that she's going out seeing inappropriate people,
Not you.
like me.
Yeah. No wonder he shouts.
With him doing things with the patio and her dead next door and her being his uncle, we could. Well, we could. I mean, but the thing is, Martin, so you can't hide. What are you hiding for?
I was just seeing if it would work.
No, I could see you behind
Patio.
that.
Body.
Well, I know, just it's obvious, but I'm going to have to call the
I'm
police.
sorry, I'm obvious.
Well, you just don't worry about it. It's how you are. I'm going to call the police. I'm going to go in the other room, and I'm just going to call them.
Don't leave me with a bloody killer.
Oh, don't be silly. Figure your story. That was a good one, but the biscuit. But maybe we could just say that you didn't go round at all. And
And I've been
hang on a
ill-
minute. Your fingerprints
Fingerprints on the
hobnob.
knob.
Would it be a sliding with the fingerprint? Would it be a sliding
But the
thumbprint?
chocolate might have firmed up by
Do you know?
now.
You probably don't think about it. do
I mean,
you?
forensically, I don't know what a sliding
Okay, here we go.
thumbprint does, but let's
Take a
try it.
hobnob. It would be that, wouldn't it?
It would be. It would be.
Do you see how you took
I
that?
did.
That you did that.
But
But there's this. Look, you'd have all that
Yeah.
there. It'll be all on there.
in fact, there'll
wouldn't
be two. There'll be a thumbprint and a forefinger print on the other side.
Yeah, but
it? How
the
can you
biscuit
get back
wouldn't-
in?
Into where?
Well, you knocked on the door, she answered the door, so presumably you don't have a key.
No, I don't have a key anymore.
And you shut the door as you came out,
Yes, I did shut it.
so we can't get back in to take the hobnob.
That's probably true.
Does he have a key?
Who? George?
Your uncle, yeah.
I think so.
Well,
I think so.
You and Uncle.
Yeah, living next door but one.
We seem to know an awful lot about her, not
We
knowing
can't
that George has-
incriminate him in some way, can we?
Well, I'm sick to death of his shouting.
So perhaps
This could solve our problem and yours.
Absolutely.
You know, you called me obvious, but I think corpse under patio, tip off to the police.
Yeah, that's what I've just been saying.
No, you didn't say that last bit.
I said, okay, look, I said patio, dead lady
Yeah,
next
you
door.
said I was obvious when I suggested that, and now you're saying incriminating. So that's what we do.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
I don't care. It's just the minutiae of things he's so concerned about.
It's not
I mean,
necessary.
It's not necessary. I'm gonna call
The
the
police
police.
aren't exactly
I'm
bright,
not
are they?
staying with it.
No. You fix. Call the police.
No, you said you were.
Yeah, but you're in there now. I'll talk to Martin. We'll figure out a story. I'm losing my voice. It's all the shouting. Okay.
Do you want a glass or something?
You didn't go round.
Should I be calling the police?
Yes!
Now?
Yes!
We haven't got the body round to the patio.
We're not going to move it round to the patio. It's just a plan. I don't know. Just call the
I
police.
think it's too
We're
early.
figuring out the plan.
You two.
Call the police.
You two.
When
figuring
yes.
out.
If
Yes.
we've got to dig up the patio, we'll ask you. Everyone's skilled to their own.
We don't want to get more involved.
Do we not?
Well, you know, you leave clues, DNA now, all that kind of stuff. You know, start digging up his patio. I mean, you're going to leave.
Can you get DNA off a hobnob?
Yes. If you licked it, or if it's on your fingers, or I don't know. I'm not.
How do you know I licked it?
You did lick it.
I did lick it.
We're screwed, aren't we?
They're on their way.
Hey, oh. You licked the hobnob. You didn't say that before you called the police.
I didn't really think it was important. I think I'm going to go for a walk.
What went upstairs with you beside you, her, and the hobnob? Were there some biscuits and things
There was
downstairs?
a cocker spaniel.
I mean, were there
A
things
small
downstairs?
basket of
The
fruit.
cup of tea. What did she offer you a cup of tea? Was there anything laid out downstairs like hobnobs?
She was laid out downstairs
No,
at the end of the night.
last words. I mean, before you went up, you walk in the house now. She's lying on the floor at the bottom of the stairs with a hobnob in her hand,
Hobnob in hand.
and
Washing up on the side.
watching up in the kitchen.
In the
So you
kitchen.
did go in the kitchen.
Spaniel going frantic. Cute dog. I like him a lot.
I don't know. We just have to play it by ear when the police come.
Can you deal with it when they arrive? I'll be around the back.
Maybe you should go.
Yeah, I think maybe I should go.
I mean, if we don't mention, because I mean, before you go, don't go hiding behind the plant again.
Sure.
No, just no.
It doesn't work.
No, just you go.
All right, okay.
Hang on a minute. And you know, because you've only been coming and going and mostly going. I mean, mostly not here because of my shouting. So you say. Maybe people won't mention you. We won't
Maybe they'll
mention you.
mention him next door. 'Cause
We won't mention you. So if they find fingerprints, they'll be
They won't find.
unknown
With
fingerprints.
the amount of rain that's coming down, they won't find footprints.
You've got fingerprints all over this
I
house.
want to shoot.
Go out the back,
I'm
out the back, out the back.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How can I help you?
Sergeant Smith from the local police
It's
station.
wonderful. You do a wonderful job.
We had a call from this house, sir, about a corpse.
Yes.
Is
No,
the
from
call,
this house?
the
No.
call was traced from this house?
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Is the corpse in
no,
this
no,
house,
no,
sir?
no. Do come in. No, no calls.
Are you on your own here, sir, at the moment?
Yes, I've got Paul, and he's I don't know where he is, and yeah, just the two of us live here. Paul.
Paul?
Paul.
You said.
Yeah, Paul lives here. I just have
Right.
a
Okay, so where...
well, Paul, because Mrs. So next door, we don't know her terribly well, but we did hear a crash. We heard a noise.
So you haven't been round to
We can't
see...
get in. But Paul apparently looked through the letterbox, and he saw her lying out on the floor
Okay,
and shouted,
so...
"Mrs." I can't remember her name.
Right.
And she didn't move, and she hasn't moved for quite a time.
So,
we thought to call
how
you.
long since you peered through the letterbox or this?
About
Paul?
well, just before we called you.
Just before,
Yes.
even though she hasn't moved for some time.
Well, 20 minutes maybe.
20 minutes. Don't you think she could
Well,
have
in hindsight,
benefited from
in hindsight, yes.
first aid or an ambulance
Yes.
or paramedic or something? Sorry, your name was?
John
Surname?
Oram.
O-R-A-M?
That's right.
Okay. Right, and you live at this
I
address?
do.
Right. With Paul,
Paul
surname?
Fulton.
2 F's? One F. Right.
I don't know, he might have an F in his middle name. I don't know what it is.
No.
There's no F
okay.
in Paul. Oh, that wasn't. Sorry.
Are you taking the Michael, sir?
No.
No, okay. Fine. Right. Just the two of you live here?
Yes.
No regular guests, no friends?
Well, we
who
have
come-
people. We've got friends. We have guests. We have people who come.
No, but to
some
stay?
More, some more regularly than not. Yeah, we have people stay. Of course, we're not
Okay.
hermits.
Right. I think we better go next door, hadn't we?
Okay.
You coming with me, sir?
Oh, well, you meant we. You
Yeah,
meant
we. I actually
Okay,
did
because you know
mean-
sometimes people say, you know, how are we? I thought you were talking in that sense, like we, like you. Why would you want me to come?
I feel your observations may be relevant. Right, looks like we might need to break the door down. Stand back, sir. My God,
That's her. That's Mrs.
this is... How long have you lived here?
10 years.
How long has she lived here?
She was here when we came.
10 years and you don't know her name. Oh.
Well, you know, I mean,
Typically
you know,
British.
we know her uncle lives next door to the other side of us. His name is George.
Why didn't you think to tell me that?
I'm just telling you now. It didn't come up, did it?
Well, we might not have had to break the door down, mightn't we? He might have had a key.
Oh, right. I don't think I'm any good at this sort of thing, like observing. So maybe I'll just go back and.
Okay, then.
Shall I leave it to you?
Could you go and get George round? George, you say? Do you know his surname?
Yes.
Could you
I
go
do.
and get him?
I will. I will.
Interesting, isn't it?
George!
Yeah?
Could you pop round to see your, whoever she is,
What?
your niece? Is she your niece?
What?
Is she your niece that
Who?
lives on the other side?
Who?
The woman who lives on the left of us, no, the right of us. Is she your niece?
Oh, yeah.
Can you pop round? There's a policeman there to see you.
A what?
A policeman.
What?
A policeman.
Okay. Okay.
So
You
are
touch
you,
me. Fucking assault.
your surname, Sir George?
George is good enough.
No, I need your surname.
George.
No, I need your surname, sir.
I know my rights. I don't have
You
to give
don't-
you my
you
surname.
do
I know
have to
my
give
rights.
me your
I don't
right.
have to give you my. I don't.
Oh, yes, you do.
Oh no, I don't.
Oh, yes, you do.
Oh no, I don't.
Oh, yes, you do.
Oh yes, I do.
Yes, surname.
Uh,
Don't say Smith for
Jones.
Christ. Okay, that'll do for now. Don't look. You
What, are you
close?
going to take your clothes off?
No, no. You're close to your niece, are you?
One door away.
Yeah. Your face is tall at the start because the lights were just behind your head.
I mean, I think we are all aware of errors. I mean, the thing about the form, and I know, I mean, I'm just trying to describe what it is. I just want this with on the floor, can't I? It's the difference, I suppose, between classical play and difference between Chekhov and Spielberg or something. It's you know, one you expect lots of kind of action or you comedy, but if you go and see, I mean, this was certainly not Chekhov, but I mean, it was.
Oh, I don't know. I think it
Wasn't Spielberg either.
It wasn't Spielberg. It wasn't Spielberg either. But you know, it's the diff. It's trying to bring a different kind of expectation on it in a way. So it's probably more theatre based or theatre play based, or is attempted to be more theatre play based. Doesn't attempt to be funny. It doesn't attempt to be not funny. It just moment by moment. But I mean, you know, having said that, there were moments in this when I think there were attempts to be funny. But it's about the real thing is about trying to be honest. To be absolutely honest to kind of what is going on. We have to figure out how to end these things, or whether it comes from here, or getting used to what. I did feel we were kind of close to towards the end, and I was beginning to think ahead, which one shouldn't. But I kind of at the end, in a way, you've got to kind of find some way of.
I felt slightly cheated when the lights went out because I thought we're getting there and I want to know what it is, and then the lights went out.
Actually, I didn't
Well-
want to know. I kind of thought if you'd rounded it up before you changed characters, I felt it would have been more.
I did feel
Sorry,
that
Sue.
the way that Martin was talking to the policeman, that he was somehow walking into the plot. He was walking into the trap in a way.
Sorry, Sue, I missed that.
But the
Mainly
ending,
because
about
John
the ending.
spoke over you.
No. I was picking
Really
that.
bugger.
I was picking up from that really about what you said, but you did really want to know what was happening.
No, I was
What
being
was
quite
that?
perverse. That I thought you should have left it before you changed characters.
Yes,
because
and
I think
that was the
it
end.
slightly started to lose its impetus
Yeah,
when you did.
I thought that as well, Sue. That it was coming, it had come to a natural end at
Yeah.
the point.
Earlier,
Earlier, before the police and
the police was the beginning of starting another story.
yeah.
It didn't really need resolving.
I think the
it'd been
problem-
so good.
The problem is it only felt as though it was 10 or 15 minutes.
Did it?
Yeah, it didn't
Yeah, it
feel
was
to
close
me.
to 25 when you started drinking the characters.
Yeah.
It's close to 25 minutes. At that
Yeah.
point.
But there's no point keeping going just because it has to last 40 minutes, is there?
No, there isn't. No, absolutely not.
And I think you got into it so quickly. I was so impressed by the speed with which you all kind of found your
Found it.
zone. And you know, it was so full so quickly.
I think the first 5 minutes we really were doing it in
Yeah.
terms of we were explored.
Yeah.
We were exploring our relationships more than we were searching for a kind of a story.
I'm afraid you always say about the element that causes you surprise, and I have to say, sorry Martin, but the body buggered me. So to
Pity
speak.
we didn't include that in the plot then.
What, me buggering
Being
the body?
buggered.
No. I don't think we
Being
needed the
buggered by
body.
the body.
So was the body invention? I mean, it did make for a good story, but was that invention rather than
Yes.
more than discovery?
Yes.
Yes.
It was
It was.
invention, yeah.
And in a way, it wasn't, I mean, the very beginning with the troublesome neighbour next door, I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of in. And this is one of the things I don't understand about this film, which we've talked about before, because that kind of that's an invention as well. Really.
Well, I was kind of looking in that direction.
And you discovered that
I
there was
think-
a
No,
shouting.
no, no. Well,
neighbour.
I just kind of looked at these two, and they were kind of
Right.
looking at me in a sort of.
Yeah, it didn't seem like that because you just sort of said, well, he's shouting, and it was just more of a throwaway remark, not so much, I have a plan for who this person is outside of us that's
Yeah.
shouting. It did
But
seem more discovery.
That felt more natural.
Yeah.
It
I-
didn't feel
I-
like a massive tilt.
plot point. Or
But I
something.
Well,
do
I think
think
John says one of the things is if it comes as a surprise to you as an actor, then it's probably invention.
Okay.
And to me, that wasn't. That was John looking angry and
The
looking
shout.
as though
Yeah.
he just finished
I'd
shouting.
go
and-
with that.
Yeah.
But then it is
Well-
difficult to discover when you're talking about something outside and someone's interacting with outside,
Yeah.
discovering when you're engaging with that outside environment.
There will always
It's
come
tricky.
some point where there is invention. It's just,
Well,
is that
we
an
try not
invention
to.
that makes you go, ah! Where did
Yeah.
that come from? Or is
Yeah.
it invention that,
Um,
I mean, the whole business
Inside
about
Is
Mrs.
it?
Miss
I mean, obviously,
It's fine.
obviously, everything. You could argue that everything is invention, but on another level, I'm standing here, and I don't know I don't know if anybody's on. I don't know if anybody's behind me. So I'm kind of turning around, and they're both kind of looking at me like that. What?
You just looked as though you'd finished shouting
What?
to me. What did you?
No. And I don't know where the shouting thing came in, but it's him. Was it him? Who? Him. Because that's where I had been looking. So it kind of, it just felt, step by step, could that be possible with the tiny little bit that we've got? And of course, the further we get into the play, the more stuff we have. I kept trying to, bring in the fact that you were, because you had said you weren't here that often.
Yes.
So I kept kind of keep going back, keep reincorporating.
And I said it was my fault, and everybody missed that.
I think one of the problems in doing this is that once you get a laugh, it becomes addictive, and you go for more. You can't.
It's true though.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, you've got to forget that. I'm sorry.
I was wondering, what did you imagine your relationships were to each other?
Friends. I don't know.
Friends.
Long term.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of blokes, a couple of geezers who sort of somehow come to live together, and this guy who.
I was trying to take on as my friend who I invited round occasionally, to stay.
I did feel that. Well, that there was quite, it was quite full up quite quickly, like he was saying. But I do think there was more relationship with the people outside than maybe you guys. I think it's that it's difficult as an improviser watching because you're looking to that established relationship. But I think that would have helped. I don't know, my understanding a little bit more. I think
If go back.
if there was
more
if there's
between
more
us.
definition of if you discovered and defined your
Yeah.
relationships,
Yeah.
Named it.
why you were living together and why one person wasn't there all the time. I think there's loads to be discovered in there.
I
That was
agree.
never really.
I agree.
Which
But we had a bloody corpse
thing
to
is-
deal with.
Yeah, but the thing is, the moment you start to, the moment invention creeps in, everything that you need is here. Everything
Yeah.
that I need is in these two.
Yeah.
Everything they need is in the other two. That's all there. That's all we need. We don't need any more. We don't need to bring stuff in. So this is getting to your point.
Yes, and I think
It's like
that
is then we have to
rather than
discover
exploring
why,
what was
why
going
are we
out
living
there.
why are we
Yeah.
living this way?
Yeah.
Why aren't you there all
Yeah.
the time? But then, then we have this kind of relationship with the woman next door, and
I think that
Yeah.
then took away from the relationship,
Yeah, yeah,
from
yeah, I
that core
agree, I
relationship.
But wasn't that the reason why you weren't there all the time? Because you got better biscuits or whatever? I mean, it was.
Those bloody hobnobs.
I think that was a euphemism, wasn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
okay, but you know that was a kind of an offer, I think. That was a reason why.
well, to me, you see, the hobnob was a hobnob, and a lot too much came around the hobnob, and I got very annoyed about the hobnob.
With me.
And my honesty was, being honest to that was, it's like when you said to the policeman, "Are you going to take your clothes off?" It was like because you were looking for a
Yes.
laugh,
Yes.
and it kind of passed by the policeman, to kind of, who was like, "What?" I just thought at that point that was the point at which we could.
Yeah.
He was kind of incriminating himself because he was being flippant. It's the flippancy, I suppose, of finding the body next door that was getting to me. That it's like, in a way, I suppose you're trying to react as you would react, although you are kind of being a different person. I do shout, but not all the time like that. But
I think one interesting thing, and I don't know if I can put it into words, is that the actual plot allowed you to improvise, because there were obviously lies, so you kept changing your story a bit, and that was kind of prompting different approaches. Does that make any sense?
It does.
The fact that you're an unreliable narrator of your own story
Yeah,
It
means
it
that your
builds.
character has no sort of.
I think it's very important to kind of point this out there, that actually the audience become intrigued by is the subtleties of and the relationship more than the jokes, really, more than the.
Well, it was interesting to note, because
Do you need it to be funny all the time?
No.
No. I thought it was quite good. I think what Sue was trying to say is that actually by having an inconsistent story and having to think on the spot was and acting quite naturally in that way was making your character look a bit dubious and added to your character trait, added a bit of tension.
That's
And
exactly what I was trying to say.
built the relationship then, because the others were then
Yeah.
naturally reacting off of your.
No, that was brilliant. That was lovely.
That
And I liked all of that.
I'm a little bit confused by this idea of mustn't invent anything. I wondered where the conversation would have gone if it was simply about discovering who you all were to each other. At some point, surely an
No, are
invention...
you inventing now? Are we inventing now as we have this conversation? And look how you're responding to that, because you're really thinking about it, and it's wonderful.
Yes, because there's a point that I'm trying to put across.
Yeah.
But if you hadn't got something meaty to grab hold of to make a conversation, just discovering about who you were, sitting around just talking, I'm just wondering whether, without something to happen...
There's a big issue about this invention and discovery. It's a shorthand to say, but I think there is invention, especially as you get into it, but it's where that becomes something that's too big.
It has to be organic, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
more
I mean,
organic
you can
than-
have little bits of invention, like name of Mrs. Miggs next door and she's 28
what-
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's invention.
But if you introduce a unicorn into the scene,
Yeah, or
a big
to my
tilt,
mind,
that's
I
a-
have to say that the corpse
Yeah.
was a surprise to me, and I felt that was
Yeah.
too big an invention.
What happens a lot, actually, I mean, on this thing is that actually somebody says something to you and it, that feels right.
Yeah.
That feels okay. Oh, well, no, that doesn't feel quite.
If you're reacting to someone's mood and you might in your mind think, oh, that maybe I've said something to upset them, and then that's the discovery. The conversation comes from that. You're reacting to someone's mood and mannerisms, which I think is exactly what you're doing right at the beginning. So the fact that you did that from your point of view was because these guys were looking at you, which we couldn't necessarily see from our angles.
Well, I
But then
actually found it very
immediately-
difficult to see
Yeah.
John's face because
But then-
the lights were immediately behind him. so-
But that's then not invention. That triggers that conversation. So those moods then. So then there is that discovery.
I think one of the things that I
It's not
found
invented.
was that when I went off, I did find a body. I mean,
Yeah, in your mind.
in my
yeah.
mind, in my world,
Yeah. So you discovered.
But that wasn't coming off us.
absolutely, it wasn't.
And that- and
it
that's
wasn't
the
coming off you.
difficulty with
Yeah,
it.
that's
Discovered.
exactly right.
in
You
your
were
own
actually
world.
off stage quite a long time at that point, weren't you?
I was bored.
So had you been thinking?
Not really, no.
I think when you're playing with three people, you may have to be prepared to not come on at all. If there's something really going on between the two people there, and the third person will come in and invade that, then you just stay off, and then and that's it. That's your contribution, not coming on. So
And now he tells us.
Yeah, that's right. I could have gone down the pub.
I have said that.
Out in the
But, you don't.
There did seem to be one bit, Paul, when you first turned the chair round and sat on it back to front.
Yes.
It looked to me like you were trying to change the scene,
Yes.
but nobody
Yeah.
else picked up on
Yeah,
it.
you were going to be on.
Yeah.
The, you were going to be on the Mrs. Miggs on the swing.
Yes.
I think that was the impression that I got.
No. In fact, I tapped John out, but he didn't notice
Yeah.
the
Do you do?
the heavy hit on his back.
Do you,
Yeah, to do a just.
do you do edits as part of this or not?
We're talking about it, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet.
We've
Yeah,
done
we
it a
have.
couple.
Yeah, that's what. Yes, we are, but I'm not sure.
No,
whether.
we have done it a couple of times, but I just felt that was
Yes, we are.
the garden and the swing was I was going to come on as Mrs. Miggs,
Yeah, and
but John
yeah.
didn't.
I think
I
you
didn't pick up.
you
on
did. I mean, you
It's all right.
needed to get to something physical, something practical, which you
Yeah.
did quite quickly.
And
And it was the let's see that kind of
Yeah,
way of doing it,
I'm
but
going
that
back.
worked really well.
I did feel, and I was going, and then somehow I turned around and you were both looking at me, and I thought something else is now happening. So I kind of,
yeah.
but I
No,
did
it
leave.
was-
I thought you wanted a conversation with him, but.
but like, the reason I turned the chair around was to be the swing, but
right.
pretend it was, but it didn't
Mm.
work. So forget it.
Mm.
Rip it up and throw it away, mate.
But you did get
So,
to
yeah.
the physical element which you needed to
Yeah.
do.
Did any of you feel blocked at any point?
There was a bit of a block from Martin at the end. I will not give you my. I will not give you my. I will not give you my.
The standoff.
I will give you my name. I do have
6 minutes
It's
of block.
difficult when we
Right.
talk about blocking is the idea. I mean, the short form is you say yes and to somebody's idea. So say yes to what they're giving you, and then you develop it in some way.
But I don't know.
But
if that,
it isn't always saying yes. It's about accepting the situation.
I don't know if that was a block.
No, I think it was
actually, because that
resistance.
can absolutely
Yes,
that can and
Yes.
does happen between upright citizens and the constabulary.
Oh,
That is
How do you know this,
precisely
Richard?
that.
It felt like a block to me just because the story couldn't go on.
Yeah.
I was
Oh, right,
asking,
okay.
But I was asking
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
if you noticed any blocking within your scene among you. Did you at any point did you find a time when
I think for me it's less about blocking in this than feeling that something isn't being taken
so it offers being
seriously in a way.
Oh.
There's a body next door.
So that okay. That,
So when it comes down to the
so then
the
Paul.
obsession with hobnobs.
I know what you're. So with Paul's character, I personally found that really enjoyable. That Paul is very obsessed with the minutia of the stupid aspects of the technicalities of this
Yeah, I
potential
like that a
crime.
lot.
He was going on about this about the hobnobs
Yes.
ridiculously, and while that's not realistic, really,
No.
for his character, maybe it is, and maybe he's just
Yes.
Yeah,
Obs-
sees himself as a
obsessive
Latin
compulsive over.
Sherlock
over
Well,
Holmes.
it was quite difficult to know whether it was annoying me or whether it was annoying
Yeah.
while I was playing.
Well, I noticed that. I thought.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. If
I
you
think
were-
it was annoying
John, I wasn't
John
sure if you were
personally.
explaining.
I think it had got
annoying
in
me.
under his
I wasn't sure.
character.
What-
I think it had got in under your character and was annoying you personally.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is Is it John that's
Yeah.
annoyed, or John
Yeah,
the character
yeah,
that's
yeah.
I felt
annoyed
like it was
by
John.
this? Because I
Yeah,
thought
I thought it was John. So what do? You play it.
You
play
keep
it
going,
up.
keep going, you
Sorry.
get me.
Lights.
Yeah, I'd hate knots. Yes, please.
It's quite interesting because the majority of people here are.
They're in the
giving
bar.
feedback
You
from
need to ask the bar.
Improvisers themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really that's what I was saying earlier. It's really difficult as an improviser
Yeah.
to be in the audience because you think
Yeah.
technically.
Yeah, that's what we
rather-
felt
rather-
about your show,
Yeah.
So,
John.
rather than.
so I'm interested to know whether this exercise is to try and work out what an audience would enjoy, or what.
It is really. I mean, it's both. I mean, basically, I think it's both. But yeah, we need to get more people to come. But
Well,
at the
so
same time, it
did
also
you enjoy
it gives us an opportunity.
overall?
Yes, I did.
It,
And sorry, did you enjoy it? I know it's your first time
Yeah, it
at
is.
any improv, but
It is. It's completely new to me,
Yeah.
and so
It's
I
new to
came
them,
with
it's improvised.
a very clean slate, open sort of
Oh,
slate.
blimey.
Oh God.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love the idea of improvisation and spontaneity. Anyway, so yes, I enjoyed it, and I'd love to come back and see more. The only thing, if I can give some constructive feedback, based on I've learnt so much this evening, and I think it was already mentioned that, and I've discussed it with you, didn't I? I just mentioned it, that somehow the story just took over and it became the focus as opposed to your relationships. And I think that was said.
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I felt
Yeah.
the bits that I enjoyed the most, and I'm completely new to this, the bits that I enjoyed the most seemed to happen at the start.
Yeah. Same.
And I was really enjoying
Yeah.
watching your relationships, and I
Less is
wanted that to build.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Totally.
Is that
no, it's
does that sound?
Yeah.
perfectly fair. I mean,
So-
this
I
format
agree.
is
Less
about
is
that.
more, really.
Well, maybe so less story maybe, but but it was just so enjoyable.
There are other
I so
formats
enjoyed
that
it.
the narrative is more important
Yeah.
sometimes, but
But
this format
I
should
think,
be character.
I think the format, if you just follow the relationships moment by moment, a story builds. You know, you go to a dinner party or something,
Yes.
it becomes a story over the evening.
Yes,
you know,
it's true.
something.
It's true.
Trust and just trust the moment, and it's incredibly hard to just trust the moment.
Yes.
Because you are this. I mean, this is the one improvisation format that I know of at the moment where I want the audience in darkness, because we shouldn't be affected by the audience. We shouldn't be affected by their laughter or their. I mean,
No.
you are kind of, but you shouldn't.
It's also one of the very few you don't actually ask for prompts from the audience.
Don't ask. No, don't ask. It's basically trust us. We're making this up. You know, this is all made up. I'm a bit tired of trying to prove to the audience the whole time that we're improvising. Either it was an interesting evening or it wasn't, and we just want to create interesting
Why
evenings.
do you feel you need to prove?
I don't know. There's the kind of traditions, you know. I mean, it's like there's certain kind of traditions in and rules in improvisation, and there's so many rules in improvisation, and particularly in the sort of American improvisation, I think, which goes down to even what you should wear or how you should come on with wee, or what have you. And I don't know. I guess because we get trapped by what everybody else is doing. I think the unique quality of this group to any other improvisation group that I know of is the range of personalities and ages, and it's a real community. And I think that's what your wife felt, wasn't it, about Dan?
So
comparing.
what your wife felt about that?
It's
It's not what I feel about you, Dad.
It's like a community marriage.
Imogen thinks the world of me. Yeah. So
I wonder why we had those hobnobs at home.
yeah, well,
With mine,
comparing
too.
North American improv to what we've done, she did find that she couldn't take what was done in the States. She's seen what's been done in the States, and it was too in your face. There were too many rules, and it was way too, typical American.
Yes.
And in a sense, and she liked the subtlety of what we did. She liked that much more.
There's a lot of love in this group, isn't there? And a lot of generosity. I think that's
Sharing each other's wives and everything.
Sharing hobnobs.
Imogen loves me too.
Well, she did mention John, but I wasn't sure which one. Now I know.
Is it Tuesday, John, or Thursday, John?
Right.
No, I think that's... So anyway,
It's easy to remember.
I think
John with an H is Thursday.
I think that there were lots of errors in this, and
Yep.
but I'm still trying to convince myself the thing has legs. I haven't been put off the fact that it does have possibilities. This format.
As purely a member of the audience, I think it's got lots of possibilities, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't really describe them as errors.
No.
Is this a Keith Johnstone form?
No.
What is the speed of light?
I think it comes really from. There's a couple in Chicago actually. There's a couple called the TJ and Dave.
Oh, they were the originators of that.
I don't know if they're the originators. I mean, for me, what I like about it, and I've been talking to Roddy about it too. I might try and get Roddy to come and do this as well. Is that improvisation in this country started at the Royal Court Theatre of this performing spontaneously to an audience. Came from Keith Johnston, and from in America came from Viola Spolin, and then it all kind of came out of that. And Keith Johnston started improvisation here to help writers. It was for a writers group, so it was to create kind of narrative. So it's a very kind of, so the telling of stories was much more sort of fundamental, I think, to kind of Keith, and it was more subtle in a way. There was a kind of subtlety about it. And then he went over to Canada and did a thing called theatre sports, and it became a little bit more like the kind of American Canadian competitive improvisation. I mean, not the illusion of competition. It was meant to be the illusion of competition, because Keith loved the idea that when he went to sports events, people was why are audiences so sort of placid and quiet and well behaved. So he came up with theatre sports to try and get the audience involved, and if they didn't like, they could shout boring, at which point an actor would have to tilt, would have to create something different on the stage, and then it became competitive so that you could get kicked off and the next team got the stage. So it just gave some activity to it. But so what I like about this is I think it takes us back to Keith's original concept of trying to create more sort of subtlety, really.
So what did Keith do originally? What sort of games or exercises did Keith do originally?
Look, I mean, there were people like Arnold. There was, there was Arnold Wesker, John Arden, and Angelico. There were all these kind of big writers.
Sorry. Wait. I got given the book by Keith Johnson last week, so they're saying, "Have you read the book yet?" Apparently that will answer my question. No is the answer.
No. Well, the idea was that he didn't want writers sitting around talking. He wanted them to show.
Show, not tell.
Show, not tell, basically, so that they would get up and...
It's one word at a time and all that sort of stuff.
The big thing, status as well. Status games were absolutely kind of, oh wow. And actually, if you think about looking at a blank page now and playing a game on the page, it kind of really frees you up. you know.
Talking
And I don't think he liked intellectuals in the theatre. He didn't like theatre to be intellectual, and neither do I.
With
That's why you like
That's why you
being
like
alive.
That's why you like us so much.
Speak for
With being alive, there are certain rules, although they're minimal. Are there other rules that you haven't incorporated yet?
In this,
Yeah.
well, I'm trying to incorporate no rules at all,
No rules at all. Okay.
except that
Don't
be
bend.
honest.
Stay in the
Stay
moment.
in the
Be
moment.
honest.
Be honest.
Watch-
Stay in the
watch
moment.
Watch the other people. Try not to
Everything
bring
that I
anything
need is
from
in you.
outside.
Everything you need is in me. That's it.
Okay.
So ma-
But what about like sweeping or edits? And that
Well,
sort of thing?
I think we started to do that, but I think it's because we're not trusting the moment.
Okay.
I think we've got to come back to that we've got to keep coming back to that.
But there is.
Sweeping,
So
remember when we were doing the
Sorry, yeah,
Armando the
sweeping.
other week?
It's when someone walks in front of the scene
Yeah.
and,
Why-
and sweeps everyone off the
It's
scene,
internal
and then the new
editing.
scene starts. So it could be there could be a multi-scene narrative starting potentially with what you've done.
We need to find a way of moving to different scenes.
Yeah.
In a way that's perhaps not as overt as sweeping and tapping out. But as you saw,
Ostentatious do it, rather than running across like we do, they do just a slow walk from one side to the other, and that's a signal to the lighting guy.
I think it would work with somebody on lighting.
I think it's
to help.
easier in 2 than 3.
You think so?
Well, you can find an excuse for everyone to walk off the stage, where it's clear that I'm signalling for us to leave, then leave.
Because I do think when somebody said about do you need to keep going for 45 minutes, no, you don't have to, but I think sometimes you could, quotes, rescue it by changing the circumstances, going to the pub, doing whatever, and create new life in those characters or new interactions with those characters.
I think we're learning. I mean, and so I think we need to. There's things we need to. There's nothing set down to how to play this. My real sense is if you're thinking of changing the scene, you're thinking into the future.
Yeah.
And you're not actually in the moment. I mean, if you're being absolutely purist about it.
But
or is it
to argue against that? I mean, Martin said, "Oh, I was in the garden with Mrs. Meggs in the swing.
Yes.
I moved in."
Yeah, no, I know.
So that to me
that's
is
what we've been
in the
talking
moment.
about doing,
Yes.
and we've done that, and I'm
so
just,
that's
I'm
not
playing-
thinking ahead
no,
in the sense
I'm
that I
playing
didn't
devil's
know that
advocate.
until he said about the swing. He said defending himself.
Yeah. No, and I'm playing devil's advocate.
Well, of course you are.
With things
Stop shouting.
that we've decided,
But I won't hear a word said against chocolate hobnobs. I'm sorry.
Can I just say about workshop and practice? For me, practice is trying those things out that you can't do. There's no point in coming here on a Monday doing the things that we can do. Really, so this is really practice with an audience, and whether it's just this group and more, and hopefully, actually the contribution that people make who haven't seen improvisation before is really valuable, because, and you say, oh, well, I don't know much about it. Well, then we're not playing to audiences that should know necessarily much about it. Is it entertaining to people who've never seen improvisation at all? Does it have some kind of... Is it funny? Is it meaningful? I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's not entertaining, but it can be instructive, or it doesn't just have to be funny, does it? But is it those things? So, if you, I don't want an audience worrying that they don't know much about. You just relax and enjoy what's happening, or leave, or not. You know what I mean?
I think meaningful is key.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's personal, but
Meaningful. The main thing that's going to be most meaningful are the relationships, as you say.
For me,
It's things that you recognise in your own life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. and that there's so much potential, I feel,
Yes.
in what you're doing in this
Yes.
art form to develop relationships, and that's so interesting. And
But next
Yeah.
month will be totally different again.
I had a teacher in Toronto who made a distinction between improvisation and sketch comedy.
okay.
And with sketch comedy, it's very much about the premise, the plot.
Yes.
You know, you establish a premise, and you play out that premise. And many improvisers will fall into the trap of creating maybe a strong premise, but they don't actually explore the relationships. Whereas she thinks that for improvisation, relationship part is the most important,
Yeah.
because that then creates a premise based on with the relationship being kind of the foundation of it, which I thought was quite a good way of looking at it, because you can have good strong premises, but you need to establish strong characters and find out how they relate to each other. Yeah.
Makes it exciting, I think.
It is exciting. Anyway, it actually gives us an opportunity to talk to, but we've talked enough. The last Tuesday of next month, which is the 26th or something, is it?
Yeah.
Is going to be, we're going to be looking at games. And the idea is too that it gives 4 people or 3 people a chance to do a 40-minute piece, you know, rather than be in a group of 15, and it just gives you an opportunity to kind of to do that. So it's you two guys, and then you'll
We'll gather.
gather
Oh,
who.
it's we two guys plus.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
just we two.
Yeah, yeah,
You're going to pick her. You're making a super
You're
group.
going to make a little
Wow.
team up, but
A
don't
little
make it any
supergroup.
more than 5.
Oh, Jill and Jean, are you joining that? Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we'll
know
do some,
Jill Scott's away, but
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do some gathering
Yeah.
and also probably include the audience.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So that will be the last Tuesday of the 26th.
Chris said yes, was it?
Yeah.
26,
I
yeah.
can't make that.
It is something like that.
It's the 4th. I can't.
But it'll be
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at the kind of games.
Just put us in front of that speakers club
Thank
once
you.
in a while. Anyway,
Oh,
you'll
and
only
guys,
be.
these are our new chairs and our new lights. So welcome to new lights. Welcome new chairs.
Hello, new light. Hello, new chairs.
Bravo.